Hi there, this is Carrie Mubarak at wooingnature.life. I hope you're well. This is your July reading, and I'm going to do something a little different this time. I thought it would be fun for me anyway. Hopefully, it'll be fun for you. Is that instead of doing like Sagittarius and Aries, I mean, I'll put it on there as such, but I thought it would be fun to do it according to the moons, according to the Native American moons and the moon that you're born under. So what I did is did a pre-shuffle on who was going to go first, second, third, and then depending on your birth time and your astrological sign, that will determine which moon it is. And so I'm just going to talk to you from the standpoint of your moon. And for today, or for this month, I'm going to do a medicine wheel reading first. I am going to read from the tarot as usual. I always make sure that I get you a tarot read in your reading. So we will be reading from the World Spirit Tarot for the tarot reading. For the medicine wheel, I will be going from the Spirit of the Wheel. I'll be using the cards from the Spirit of the Wheel to set the stage, and then after that, I will be using Colette Baron Reed's Spirit Animal cards and her Shaman deck. To look at what's going on around you. Okay, so I already did the pre-shuffle, and the very first card up is those people born under the long snows moon. And if you were born between November 22nd and December 21st, then that is the long snows moon, which would mean that you're probably a Sagittarius. All right, so long snows moon people, we are going to start with you. And I'm going to shuffle these. And we're going to start with a spirit animal because I just want to see how your energy is. Kind of get you grounded to start off with for the month. Long snows moon, what we got? Animal spirit. Ooh, the wasp spirit. Oh, that's so you, Sagittarius. I was just talking to somebody and they were talking about wasps, and I was telling them that wasps are pretty aggressive. They're assertive, aggressive animals, and people know them to be so. Unlike the bumblebee, which is also a stinging animal, the wasp really protects its lair. The bee does too, but you really have to kind of be doing things with the bee for a bee to sting you. But a wasp is going to check the perimeter, and if you're a little too close, they're going to let you know you're in my territory. And so Sagittarius, that's the energy that you are going to be rolling with. It is connected to your divine chemistry. It's a part of the divine order. So if for whatever reason you're feeling like you got a little stinger, it's because that's the energy that you need to be operating with at this time, right? It's an instinctual thing. So if you're feeling a little bit like, okay, get away from me, you're a little too close, if you're feeling a bit territorial, within reason, just know that that's that wasp energy and spirit in you, making sure that your space is protected. Okay, so protecting your space. You also want to think about it in terms of wasp as boundaries, making sure that you have proper boundaries, and that which is important to you, that you set boundaries in relationship to that. And that means whatever it is, your house, your mental health, make sure you set your boundaries. All right, so let's take a look at the rest of the wheel. And this is the Mystical Shaman deck. And in the south position, that's the south position, which is the place where you get lessons of growth and trust. You're on a journey right now. It's a journey of heart. It is a journey of wisdom where you will be gaining wisdom from the journey. You are also going to be making a transformation. And that transformation is going to teach you about your flight, about how you fly, about how you get up off the ground, because getting up off the ground is important when it is important. Now, sometimes you have to be grounded, and grounding is important. But if you're trying to fly, then there's other things that are called for. So you are on a path right now. You're on a journey. There's some things that you are learning about yourself that will allow you to find that inner wisdom. And that wisdom comes from your heart, from being in a heart space. It is a strengthening thing. Like a lot of times when people talk about heart space, we talk about the heart, we go soft. Oh, we go into a soft mode. Well, your path of heart is not soft necessarily. This is a warrior here. This isn't a soft guy. This is somebody who has taken the time to do the grunt work, the hard work, so that their wisdom can carry them forward. And so you're taking a journey right now. You're on a little journey, learning path. This is okay. This is good. It's good stuff. Okay. All right. Moving right along to the West position, recuperation, creativity, and dreams. Recuperation, creativity, and dreams. All right. In that position, I'm getting the card, the curse. The curse. I feel like some people may be having dreams. You may be having dreams or nightmares. But what you need to know about those is that they are there to unwind certain things within you that need to come out. It's like to bring that out of you. Sometimes there's aspects of ourselves that are difficult for us or a challenge for us to tackle in our waking life. And so your sleeping life is where some of that work is being done. So I'm getting from this card that that's what's happening there. So if you feel like don't feel like you're cursed. I think that's a strong card. I don't really like that card in this deck. But what I am getting from it is that there are things that may be hidden in your subconscious that you are now working out in your dreams. It's not happening in your waking life, it's happening in your dreams. So if you are having nightmares, if you're, like things like that, you're waking up strange dreams, weird dreams, or you can't remember your dreams, 9 times out of 10, and especially if you can't remember them, or if you're going through a period of time where you feel like you can't remember your dreams, then sometimes that's when the spirits are working on you. Okay. All right. In the north, we have the hunter. The hunter. There is a lot of literature out there about the hunter. There's a book, and I'm trying to think of what the name. I think it's the Four Agreements. No, it might not be that one. But anyway, there's some books out there that talk about the hunter from a spiritual aspect. And this is in the north position where we talk about spiritual connection and wisdom. So there's some information out there, and you can probably Google it too, but it's something that's Native American. You may also find it in other indigenous teachings where there's the concept of the hunter and what that means from a spiritual standpoint. So Sagittarius, I'm going to say that that's going to be your homework for July, is to study these teachings that are associated with the hunter and the spirit. And then also you may find that you'll have other kinds of prey animals, predator animals to come up around you. Hunter animals may show up for you, could be on TV, could be in real life, whatever. But if you find that happening, then that's probably the spirit calling you to study about the hunter. Okay. All right, so we got new beginnings here in the east, and we have the child. Perfect, right? What better way to start approaching new beginnings than as the little child with eyes full of wonder and willing to soak up and to absorb any new information that is coming your way. It's also about your thought processes, so you really have to find yourself again in the place of a child, in a child's way of thinking, which is really whimsical and light and not heavy and not burdened and bogged down with a lot of shoulds and shouldn'ts and filters and what the shoulds and shouldn'ts. That's what you want to get rid of first if you're trying to return to this space in your mind. So an interesting layout here for you Sagittarius, or excuse me, you long snows moon people. So I'm getting protection. I'm getting boundaries. You are on a journey. You are on your own, a separate path right now. You're headed toward that. So you do have to protect your space. When you're taking a spiritual journey, you have to protect your spiritual space. And then here, I'm definitely feeling that this is things that are being worked out in your subconscious, things that you are troubled by. Could be guilt, could be worry, could be fears. You know, things that you haven't let go of yet that you need to let go of, things that you're subconsciously hanging on to that may be hindering yourself. All of this stuff is coming out in your dream space. Again, your homework for the month is to study the hunter from a spiritual standpoint, and then also from another, from just a basic standpoint. What do hunters do? Hunters have to have a keen eye. They have to be sharp shooters. Wherever that applies to you in your life, you'll want to embody it in that way. We're not asking people to go out and be sharpshooters and hunt down things or people. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a spiritual hunter. I want to make that clear. And then we have, again, seeing things from the mind of a child. So set your boundaries and continue to process through with the dreaming. You don't even have to really concern yourself about this part right there. It's taking care of itself, so I don't want you to be overly concerned about that. The main thing that you need to be doing is making sure that your space is protected, that your spiritual space is protected while you are going through this journey right now. All right, so that is your medicine wheel reading for July. I am going to take a pause. I'm going to pull the World Spirit Tarot and we're going to do your tarot read. I'll be right back. All right, let's see what we got here in this here tarot. See what the tarot has for us. This is just so that we can get into detail a little bit. What's going on with my long snows moon people for the month of July? What do we need to know? What do we need to be focused on? And I'm just doing a straight read. I'm not doing money, wealth. We're just going to see what's going to pop out. Okay? If it's love, it's love. If it's money, it's money. If it's something else, it's something else. First card out the bat, Sage of Cups. Sounds like love to me. Sage of Cups. Somebody has gotten wise about love over the past month, looks like to me. You've done some self-reflecting. You've gotten in touch with your own emotions, Sagittarius. That's positive. That's good. I think that's needed. You're feeling a little stronger about that because I think it was maybe messing with you in some kind of way. It feels like, you know, it maybe had you down a little bit. But the self-reflection has been good because what it's doing for you is it's allowing you to be able to see yourself and an aspect of yourself a lot more clearly than you had before. And that's going to be beneficial to you, Sagittarius. You kind of thought that maybe this wasn't all that much of a big deal, but you're going to realize how much of a big deal it can be. Okay? So I feel like you've been purified in a way, or you've gone through a process of purification in relationship to that. And I think that you are with the Seer of Swords energy. I think now what it is that you're going to find a way to express this. You're trying to find a way to express it. You're going to have to make some steps. You're going to have to take some steps to get there. But you feel hopeful, and that's good. You should feel hopeful. This is about companionship, and it's about loyalty and companionship. All right, let's see what we got here. Where is this going? Where is this leading? Let's see where it goes. Okay. All right, so you're looking at some new horizons. You're looking at some new things. You're putting your sights on other things. So it doesn't look like whatever was going on was really necessarily getting you that down, but it is creating some new ideas and some new experiences for you. It is going to create some new ideas and some new experiences for you. But here I'm seeing something about being wound up or bound up. Okay, so you're wound up and bound up, but you're wound up and bound up in your own thoughts and your own thinking about something, right? So this is the reason why you were doing this work. The reason why you're doing this work is to get yourself beyond whatever these binding thoughts, they are binding thoughts. It's old stuff. It's things that you've already been through. You've already gone through it, and you've already gotten the t-shirt. You got the scars. You got the cup. You got the hat. You got the pinwheel. The stomach ache from the ride and all of it. So it is time to move forward. It is time to set your sights on something else. It really is. I still feel like you're trying to find a way to express this, and that's a good thing. That part is good, because as you're learning to articulate what you feel and sense, it's gonna change things for you. It's all about the word. You gotta, the word, when you speak something, how people say you gotta be careful what you say. You speak things into existence, right? It's not that deep, but it can happen, true enough. I feel like the universe gives fools and babies an opportunity to ask for some dumb stuff before they actually give it to them and mess up their whole life. It gives you a chance to think about it. How when you ask for something and it doesn't happen right away, that's because you really got to spend some time thinking about it, because probably you might not be ready for it, or you might not really want it, but it'll give you some time to think. And so you being able to articulate, going back to the articulation, you being able to articulate what you learned while you were doing the self-reflection is actually going to give power to that, and the power of it is going to change your life. This is where this comes from. But it's going to take you getting over this, over the hurt part, over the sad part. But that's what all this other stuff is about. And I also feel like that's why you were getting the curse in the West position with your dreams, because you're working out some of this hurt stuff there too. All right, we've got the devil. There we go. This goes back to this, to that. That's what the devil does, bind you up and keep you all hemmed up, and you're not, you can't let this get in your way. You're just going to have to let it go, honestly. And whatever it is that you are using to mask it, or whatever it is that you are using as an excuse for not really going here, all right, that's going to keep you bound up still. It's going to keep you bound up. It's not necessary, long snow's moon. It's not necessary. So we've got the Seven of Wands here. That's you getting through the stuff. That's you getting past the barriers inside of yourself. It's like you got these things. You have these things that you have put in front of you as barriers. That's what I'm saying. It's like these thoughts or these ideas or these belief systems or something that you have going on, long snow's moon, that is keeping you from, you are your own obstacle, is what I'm getting here. You are your own obstacle if you don't express some of those deep feelings that you became privy to during your time of quiet. Okay? So I have a Seeker of Swords here. A lot of seeking and a lot of seeing. A lot of seeking and a lot of seeing. I see you stepping into your power source. I see that. I see that you also use your mind and your intelligence to draw things to you or to make things happen for yourself. And what I'm going to say to you is use this energy to handle this right here, right now for you. Because this is going to hinder you. This is going to get in your way. This stuff is going to get in your way. And I think Sag and Long Snow's Moon person, I really do think that you might be afraid of what is going to open, what doors are going to open, that's going to open for you. And it could open up some painful places for you, but don't forget that you're doing a lot of that work in your dream space. And so you may feel like on certain days, you may wake up and you feel really tired, like you wake up like you've been working all night. Well, you probably have. And just know that that is your psyche's way of processing some of this so that the homework that you do in your waking life can be a little bit more productive. I'm feeling Reiki for you, Long Snow's Moon. I'm feeling Reiki for you. I feel like Reiki might be a real good tool for you for this because it'll break up some of that cognitive dissonance. You got cognitive dissonance going on. And when it comes to feelings and emotion and intuition and insight and personal insight and getting in touch with your inner sanctum and your inner wisdom, your mind can get in the way. And I think that's what the deal is. All right, so now we're getting some good cards here. We're getting the sun and we're getting the star. And for me, that's a symbol that we've had a breakthrough here. There's a breakthrough in information here. And then we also have the Sybil of Swords here. So I think that with the Sybil of Swords, that's usually the Queen of Swords in this deck. But what I'm feeling is you becoming stronger and wiser in the feminine, on your feminine side, on your receptive side. So no matter what your situation is, and I feel like Long Snow's Moon that you're like this person who will never let them see you sweat. But there's a part of you that has to soften. It has to be more open to receive whatever it is, joy, or to receive the messages of your inner self that tell you the strength of who you are. And that can open the door so that you can get to the things that you really dream of. And you just don't want that blocked. But I feel like, the blocking is, of course, happening in your mind, and it has to do with some disappointments from the past, probably, and some emotional ones at that. Okay? All right, let's see. Anything else from the World Spirit Tarot for Long Snow's Moon? All right, I love this card. It's like people coming to a well. The well is a source, and it's a source for everyone. So if you're feeling the struggle that comes with this, if you're feeling a little fearful or like you don't want to just go there, just go to your source. Go to your source. Ask for strength. Ask for the ability to walk through the lessons that you are learning now. And again, remember, you are on this journey. And there are some lessons that you're learning. It looks like you are learning lessons about yourself. But these lessons, look what they lead to. They lead to your star self, your star power, and they also lead to joy and happiness, true joy and happiness, not just stuff and things, true joy and happiness. I always tell you about stuff and things, right? Stuff and things. Whatever. Right? All right, last card of the day is going to come from Alana Fairchild. I'll read from the text. I always like Alana Sacred Rebels. They always give me some good stuff, So let's get some good stuff for Long Snow's Moon here for the month of July. Some good stuff. Just something to go with. Something to close with. A nice little parting gift of wisdom. All right. We've got Legacy of Light. Legacy of Light. This is card number 7. That's a powerful spiritual number. You know that. Finding your spirit. Long Snow's Moon. Sounds good to me. All right, let me get to it here. Legacy of Light. You are being asked to honor the legacy of light that is your sacred birthright. Take nourishment and support from those that have come before you, your ancestral lines, not only in blood, but also in the spirit. Well. All right. Perhaps these are the beings that have inspired and motivated you to live as a sacred rebel from your heart and with belief in yourself. The more you are nourished by this legacy of light from your past, the more you become a bearer of the legacy for those who will be supported by your light in the future. Now, this is some powerful juju. I want to read that again. The more you are nourished by this legacy of light from your past. And then we just got finished talking about something from your past that, may have been, there was a breakup or had you broken up or whatever. There's a legacy of light in that you have learned or that you are learning. So this is the sacred endowment from the great universal source of light to humanity. It is the light of wisdom, creativity, radical courage, love, and respect that is passed down from the heart of each generation to the next. The legacy of light is your spiritual birthright. To refine and shine your essence into the world. To be like a sun, just had the sun card, radiant and unapologetic of your nature. Wonderful. The oracle of the legacy of light comes to you when you need confirmation that a creative choice you're making or have made or soon will make is one that is in alignment with your sacred purpose and your spiritual path of healing and growth. Alignment, alignment, alignment. The legacy of light cannot be ignored without some detriment to your sense of well-being. So if you're feeling a little shook up, that's okay. If you were asking about a particular question and drew this card, which you didn't, but we did, sort of, kind of, then part of the answer to your question is that the issue at hand is one of utmost importance to your spiritual growth, even if it seemed like a relatively insignificant one. The energy around this matter is relevant to your sacred birthright to shine. Perhaps you need to trust more, to know that all is well, no matter what happens or what appears to be, and to ask for help and believe that you deserve to receive it. Okay? So that is your reading for July. Just remember your legacy of light. You have a legacy of light, and it comes from that difficulty or the difficulty that you had from your past. All right, Long Snow's Moon, I hope y'all have a great one. I hope you have a great July, and I hope you have a fabulous life.